What's up? What's good? It's your boy Tommy Springfield back up in here with another one of these videos. If you like what I'm doing, you want to support, click that like, share, subscribe. But you know how I do. Before I get into this video, all a brother really want to know is, how y'all doing out there? So today's video, if you see the title, is the black community already deemed Diddy guilty. I mean, how is that? Because Master, the white man, told you he guilty. Why do blacks always do that? Oh, the white man holding me back, and this is holding me back, and this is. But soon as the white man tell you don't like someone, you don't like them. They did it with R. Kelly and many celebrities. Black community jumped right on the wave. We already got the Diddy jokes. We already got all these things. And we don't even know the facts. Some people haven't even looked at the case. Some people don't even know how ridiculous this stuff sounds. So what I'm going to do, I got all the cases. I got Diddy case with Cassie, and I got the two versions of the Rodney Jones case, and I'm gonna read them, and I'm gonna let you see how ridiculous some of the things sound. But first, let's get into who Lil Rod is. This is Lil Rod's Instagram. Let's look at Lil Rod and listen to some of the things he said.
He's smiling like he's closing the session, so whatever time he wants to leave.
Matter of fact, I forgot, this is to the people that be in the comment section of my videos. If me smoking weed is a turn off, this is definitely a 420 channel. So sorry, don't know what to tell you. This ain't the channel for you. But let's get into getting to know Lil Rod. Let's listen to Lil Rod.
He's closing. Everybody going to go to home.
If I want to leave right now,
I was looking for him every time before he gets here. Everybody's looking for him. Oh, what time already? He's coming. Like everybody's asking for him before race, age, kid. Like he speaks so much value. And then when he gets here, he gets shit done. And like right now, everybody's gone. He's in charge. Whenever he's ready to go, he's closing this shit. If he want to do overtime, he's doing overtime. Because before he gets here, everybody looking for him. And it's so much like
Now, that's Lil Rod Jones, not him. That's Lil Rod over here in the corner. But the dude talking is talking about Lil Rod, who's right here. And what do he say? Lil Rod can leave whenever he want. He runs the studio. Everybody's gone. Lil Rod's there by himself. Lil Rod is the man. Listen to him.
His vibration and music gives me goosebumps and like energy. And I'm looking forward to get a camera so I document more. And this not one time, two time, all the
Folks, do he look like he being held hostage by Diddy? Do he look like he don't like the position he in? Let's listen to what he say.
time. And he could tell you himself. Am I lying before you leave? Oh, you're not living. Am I lying?
no, he's not lying. He's not lying.
Before a little time in the past before you leave. Am I lying?
No.
You know, like, oh, I need to work on this. I need to work on this.
I try to leave. They try to keep me here.
Am I lying, bro?
No, you're right.
I pay attention. I'm a student. I'm learning. I pay attention, bro. I pay attention, bro. I'm a student. I'm learning, bro. That speaks value, bro.
So if I want to leave right now, I can, right?
Whenever you want, you in charge.
If I want to stay overtime,
if you want to say you stay, if you want to do overtime, you're the one closing.
Now, you see, that's Lil Rod bragging that he can leave whenever he want. He in charge, right? We gonna go back to that. Let's get to the Lil Rod lawsuit. So, I don't know if I'm gonna get through all of it. I'm gonna try. It's 75 pages, and over here on the East Coast, it's 12:27 a.m. So, as you can see, these are the list of characters. Lil Rod, Jones wants to take the court. Rodney Jones. You know, he got Sean Combs, Justin Dior Combs, Ethiopia, whatever her name, Lucien Charles Grange, Kristen K, Callis Recording Studios, Love Records, Motown Records, Universal Music Group, Combs Global Enterprise, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, and ABC Corporations 1 through 10. Those are the defendants, but that's his initial first. But he amended it. Let's see the names on the amended one, folks. So we took out some names and we added some names. So we got Sean Combs, we got Justin Dior Combs. He added Cuban Gooding Jr. Lucien Charles Grange was always there. Kristen K was always there. Love Records, Motown Records, Universal Music Group, Combs Global. So who did he add and take out? Let's see. Seems like he only took out Ethiopia, which I don't understand. I think he took out Chalice, Love Records. He must have realized Chalice and Love Records ain't got nobody. They'll just Diddy's. Nope. Love Records is still in there to admit it. Chalice is not. But anyway, so let's get into reading this. Plaintiff Rodney, Little Rod Jones. Hold on. Let me get my glasses because you know I'm old, so I need my glasses. So, we gonna read this paperwork. We gonna see if, just from this paperwork, if Diddy is, like, needs to be turned on, like it seems like the black community already turned on Diddy. So, let's get into it. So, plaintiff Rodney Lil Rod Jones hereby alleges as and for his complaint against defendant Sean Combs. Mr. Combs defended Justin Combs. So, you know, we ain't gonna go through all the names. We already know. We showed you the names. The court has personal jurisdiction over the defendants under the constitutional requirements of due process, and that the defendants acting directly or through his agent or apparent agents committed one or more of the following crime: the transactions of any businesses within the state, the making of any contract within the state, the commission of torturous act within this district, and the ownership, use, or possession of any real estate in this state. From September 22nd to the date of this filing, defendant have consistently and purposely availed themselves of the privileges of conducting activities within New York, thus invoking the benefits and protections of New York law. So that's very interesting there, that defendants have consistently and purposefully avail themselves of the privilege of conducting activities within New York, thus invoking the benefits and protections of the New York law. See, this was filed in New York because in no other state this would happen, because New York just filed a law that even if the statute of limitations has expired, you can go back and charge people for stuff that happened 20, 30 years ago, you know. So that's why this is going on. Let's get back into it. The litigation arises from or relates to the torturous activities the defendants visit upon plaintiff Jones in New York, California, Florida, St. Bartholomew, and the United States Virgin Islands. This treacherous conduct violated United States federal RICO laws and United States Victims of the Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000. Requiring defendants to litigate these claims in this district does not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. Plaintiffs' claims arise from some conduct occurring by the defendants in New York, specifically the trafficking of plaintiff across state lines between California, New York, and the USVI, United States Virgin Islands, and the trafficking of plaintiff internationally to St. Bartholomew. So, I never read this one. I read the other one. So what he is saying, he refigured that and said he is the one that was being trafficked and sex trafficked. That's from my understanding, because he is the one. He's saying he is the one that was sex trafficked. I don't know, when you a grown man. I got a question. Do this man look like he was sex trafficked?
It speaks volume because you're in charge.
What that dude keeps saying? You in charge. That's Lil Rod. You in charge.
Oh, I say, like, this speaks volume. Like, he's closing the session. So whatever time he wants to leave, he's closing. Everybody going to go to home.
If I want to leave right
They
now,
was looking for him.
I can leave right now. You heard him? So, his own words. He can leave whenever he want, right? But let's go back to what he said for the sake of his lawsuit. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Cassie. We'll get back to you, baby girl. So, this just said, plaintiff Rodney Jones, he is such and such, domiciled in New York, the state of New York. Defendant Sean Combs, he looked like DMX right there out this moment. Did he steal DMX soul? That's why he looked like DMX. Orlando Brown always said they be in each other's skin. It looked like he got DMX skin right there. Stole DMX soul. When he don't suck enough souls, he start looking like DMX again, huh? Defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and recording executive popularly known by stage names Puff Daddy, Puff, P. Diddy, Brother Love, or Love. Mr. Combs became famous in the early 1900s. We know all that. And if you want Mr. Combs' domicile, 200 South Mapledale Drive, Beverly Hills, California, 90024. That's where Puffy lived. Gave you the address. That's Puffy's son. He got his own crib. He don't live with Puffy. See, they live around the corners from each other, I'm assuming. Well, he say Beverly Hills. That's it. The kids don't get a crib in Beverly Hills, I guess. They got to go across town. Puffy like, nah. And then that's the CEO of the record company she's suing. We all know Cuban Gooding Jr. was a relevant actor who was fallen from grace due to several sexual assault lawsuits and a recent guilty plea for sexual assault. Upon information and belief, defendant Cuban Jr. is domiciled at 60 Colster Street, apartment number 2B, New York, 10013. Remember, the King of Talk gave you these people addresses. That's the CEO for Diddy Combs Global Enterprise. Upon information and belief, she's domiciled at 10445 Wilshire Boulevard, apartment 501, Los Angeles, California. Managed the day operations of Combs, Rico, and TVP Enterprise. That's crazy. Defendant Motown Records is a label with principal place of business located at 1750 Vine Street, Los Angeles, California. According to a declaration by former Motown chairwoman and CEO Ethiopia, Motown Records, with the consent of defendant UMG and presumably Mrs. whatever her last name is, direct supervisor, defendant Lucien Grain, entered a general partnership as their term is defined by the laws of the state of New York with defendants Love Records and Sean Combs. So this lady, Miss Ethiopian, she was taken out the lawsuit. She was in the very first lawsuit. Don't know why she was taken out. Maybe she's an informant. That's a good, you know what I'm saying? So that's why she was taken out. Puffy, she working. Defendant Usual Music Group, Defendant Love Records. We know y'all want the address. There they is. You can go to Universal, shop your record deal. That's the address, 2022 2220 Colorado Ave in St. Monica, California. Lucius Grain is the chairman and CEO. Yo, just go there, ask for Lucius, tell him Tommy Springfield, aka the King of All Talk, sent you. Defended Love Records. I mean, listen, Puffy looking for a new boy toy. You know, if that's your lifestyle, that's what you want to do. His record company is at 6255 Sunset Boulevard, Suite 713, Los Angeles, California. Go on over there. Make sure you give me my props. Said the King of Talk sent you. And don't go over there if you ain't looking to be a boy toy. Don't go over there if you gonna lay up with Diddy and let him fondle you and play with your little booty hole and all that. And then if you gonna tell, don't use my name. But if you're gonna go over there and play the game right and get your bag and be the boy toy, tell them I sent you. So Defendant Combs Enterprise, it's a first portfolio of business and investments, including music, fashion, fragrance, beverages, marketing firm, television, and media priorities. They have a principal place of business located in New York. You notice he's trying to put everything in New York. Why is he trying to put everything in New York? Because once again, like I told you, New York got that law where folks could sue. So that's what they doing. So let's get into it. Rodney Little Rod Jones is from Windy City, Chi-Town. He was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Jones is the second oldest son and fourth child of 9 siblings. Mr. Jones comes from a long line of gospel music influencers. Mr. Jones started playing instruments at the age of 5. He began playing drums in church. And at 13, he picked up playing the guitar. From 13 to present day, Mr. Jones has taught himself to play over 13 instruments. That's cool. Mr. Jones is considered a music prodigy throughout his career. Mr. Jones has worked the Southside Chicago music scene, playing with the following legendary acts: Georgia Mass Choir, Donald Lawrence, the Clark Sisters, and the Smoky Norfolk. On or about August 22nd, Mr. Jones received a call from Mr. Combs. Representative requested that he produce several songs on a rhythm and blues album titled The Love Album, Off the Grid. Mr. Jones agreed, and his life has been detrimentally impacted ever since. I bet you it has. You've been on private jets. You've been flying all over the world. You've been living in mansions. You've been living the life, bro. Let's go over here and listen to you.
What's time? Each coming, like everybody's asking for me the boys, age, kid. Like, it speaks so much value. And when it gets shit done. And like right now, everybody's gone. He's in charge. Whenever he's ready to go, he's closing the shit. If you want to do overtime, he's doing overtime. Because before he gets here, everybody looking for him. And it's so much like, his vibration and music gives me goosebumps.
Hey, man. I know I don't get a lot of views. I'm new to this, but it's all good. But if anybody in New York see this, run up on Diddy and show him, because he says he could leave anytime. But as you can see in the lawsuit, he gonna say he was hostage.
And I'm looking forward to get a camera so I document more. And this not one time, 2 times, all the time. And he could tell you himself.
Let's look through his Instagram, right? Do that look like a prisoner? He says Stevie J was what?
Game right there.
London Brown gave Uncle Mark from Raising Cane Man. Shout out to my guy.
I simply just started building the whole building myself, following myself, and I jumped in myself. A person who only listened to rap music to understand me as an artist.
Do this man look like he? Look. Look at him.
Simple.
He
Take ride with a camera on. I see you like performing. You need to put a camera on you every time, nigga. Nigga, I need to get the shit right. I was putting a camera on you.
Baby, don't go.
It's true falling, and now I'm feeling.
You know, do this look like a dude that had problems and was being held hostage? Nah. What'd he say?
Oh, I say like this speaks volume. Like he's closing the session, so whatever time he wants to leave, he's closing.
Whatever time he wants to leave, folks. You heard him. But let's get back to the lawsuit. So, during the relevant period, defendants John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10 are currently unknown individuals or employees who aided in or abetted in the commission of conduct, complained or hearing, or either acted within the scope of their employment. Defendants ratified, embraced, and added to this conduct. As parties engaged in discovery, plaintiff retains the right to amend the complaint to add these individual employees by name. During the relevant period, defendants ABC Corps 1 through 10 are currently unknown entities who employ plaintiff or aided or embedded in the commission of conduct, complained of hearing. As the parties engage in discovery, plaintiff retains the rights to amend the complaint to add these entities or individuals by name. So basically, he got 1 to 10, about 20 people that he didn't put their names and basically he could come back to. So let's summarize the events. From September 22nd to September 23rd, Mr. Jones produced 9 songs on Mr. Combs' Love album. From September 22nd to September 2023, Mr. Jones lived with Mr. Combs for months, spending holidays, birthdays, and missing major family events. Mr. Jones resided at Mr. Combs' residence in Los Angeles, California, and Miami, Florida. He also spent several weeks on yachts rented by Mr. Combs in the U.S. Virgin Islands and St. Bartholomew, whatever, I know I'm probably saying it wrong, as detailed below. Mr. Jones made several trips with Mr. Combs to New York City throughout his time living with him. Throughout this time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer of the Love album. So, let's take that. Mr. Jones, for months, spending holidays, birthdays, and missing major family events. He lived with Mr. Combs' residence in Los Angeles, California, Miami, on yachts, Virgin Islands. And Mr. Jones, you thought all that was free? You lived, Puffy got $140 million in mortgages, right? So you lived in $140 million worth of homes. You lived on yachts, another couple millions, in the Virgin Islands. You flew to private jets to all these places, right? And now you got the audacity to turn around the man and say he owe you something? Why do people think, only black people, why do black people think that the work they put in is free? Oh yeah, I worked on 9 songs, he owe me. Okay, when you gonna subtract living in a $50 million crib? How much did that cost? How much did it cost for you to live in another $60 million house? How much did it cost for you to go down to the Virgin Islands on those yachts? How much did it cost for you every time you flew on a private jet? And every time you flew on a private jet, you had to come back, right? So, and how much you think it cost every time you got off that private jet, you got into a fancy car? You don't think the 9 little songs you wrote, you don't think that your lifestyle, you don't think it was paid for with those 9 songs? You think you was owed more? You thought you didn't write 9 songs from your home, broke, poor, struggling. You wrote 9 songs from a millionaire apartment, living good, eating good, having staff wait on you, having females ready, clearly sleeping with Diddy. But, you know, all the black community, they jumping on your side. Oh my God, Puffy did. How? He lived a millionaire life. He flew on jets. He did everything. I'm sure those 9 songs, because Puffy ain't making no money off of music. I'm sure those 9 songs ain't making enough money to live the lifestyle you lived for those 13 months. But let's continue on. Enough of me rambling. I done lost my 0 viewer because I'm rambling. But it is... I'm just upset that people was already saying Diddy is guilty and you don't even look at the charges. You don't see how foolish this shit sound. But let's carry on. Throughout this time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer of the Love album. The claims raised in his complaint have been corroborated through witness statements, video, audio recordings, personal experiences, and images Mr. Jones possesses. Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and been recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs' staff and his guests engaged in serious illegal activity. Now, Puffy could gain all that footage because even if Mr. Jones used a cell phone, I'm pretty sure Diddy was paying all the bills. So that is Diddy's property. You were filming on behalf of Love Entertainment or whatever his name. So whatever footage you got, if Diddy lawyers do their job, they can get that footage because you don't own that footage. You even here say you broke and didn't have money. So Diddy pretty sure brought you that phone, was paying those bills. So all of that is Diddy's possessions. Hey man, somebody show Diddy this video, man. I'm gonna help him out this. Mr. Jones has personally witnessed and secured infutable evidence of the acquisition, use and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. The displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms, Mr. Combs providing laced alcohol beverages to minors, LA home, July 2023, and sex workers at his homes in California, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Florida, and St. Bartholomew. Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Kristen K., they call her KK, instructs her staff to retrieve drugs so she can provide them to Mr. Combs for his consumption. Kristen Combs drugged and sexually assaulted a woman. Mr. Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T. Jacobs to soften the impact of his public image of Kathy Venter's lawsuit. Young Miami's cousin sexually assaulting Mr. Jones. After Cuban Gooding Jr. sexually assaulted and assaulting Mr. Jones. Rapper redacted on Mr. Combs' yacht, consorting with underage girls, sex workers, and R&B singer redacted. And Mr. Combs lost his home consorting with underage girls and sex workers. We'll get to who those are, but that's Usher and Meek Mill's there trying to say. Chalice Records shooting. And the reason why I know they're trying to say these are Meek Mill's and Usher's rapper number 3. So we go down to number 3. He's a Philly rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. We know that's Meek Mill. Number 4, R&B singer. He's a Grammy winner, R&B singer who had trouble with law enforcement after assaulting that my fault. Number 4 is Chris Brown, who assaulted a Banjan billionaire. That's crazy. He beat up Rihanna. She's the billionaire. Number 1, let's go to Mr. Combs inviting late alcohol beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes in California. So we go down to the writer spoke with several employees of the yacht rented by Mr. Combs in the U.S. Virgin Islands, who personally witnessed defendant Kay instruct her staff, Brendan Paul, Frankie Satella, and Moy Bynum, spike bottles of champagne with ecstasy upon information and belief this occurred the day of the December 31st, 22 New Year's party. And number 2, a complaint is forthcoming. It was number 2. Christian Combs drugged and sexually assaulted a woman. So that's the son. So that means there's a charge coming. So as we move on, Chalice Recording Studio shooting on or about September 12th, 2022. Mr. Combs held a writers and producer camp at Chalice Recording Studio at 845 Highland Ave, Los Angeles, California. Mr. Combs and his son Justin Combs and Justin's friend G were present at this camp. Based on information and belief, Mr. G is a 30-year-old tall African-American male. Based on information and disbelief, in addition to these individuals, other musicians was present at the camp. The writer has spoken to several musicians who attended the camp. One evening during this camp, Mr. Combs, Jay Combs, and G were in a heated conversation. That conversation was moved out the studio into a restroom adjacent to where Mr. Jones was seating. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshots rang out. Mr. Jones recalled hearing multiple gunshots. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and feared that he would be shot next. Now, why could you just hear bullets? You thought you was next. You thought they were shooting up the whole studio. You didn't know what was happening. But Mr. Jones genuinely believed. And that's kind of hard to believe because when you in studios, everybody know studios are all soundproof. Not saying the bathroom is soundproof, but where was he sitting? You know what I'm saying? Studios are all soundproof, so just to be hearing stuff, if you in the studio, you're not going to hear what's outside the studio. But anyways, Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshots rang out, claiming 2 feet away. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and feared that he would be shot next. Mr. Jones generally believed he would be shot through the door due to how close he was. After the shooting ended, a crowd gathered around the restroom. Upon information and relief, when the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and Jay Combs exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in the fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his torso and leg hip area. Everyone stood around looking upon G. Frustrated by the lack of aid to G, Mr. Jones dropped everything, ran to G, and immediately began applying pressure on G's gunshot wound to his torso. As he was applying pressure to his torso, Mr. Jones realized that G was gushing blood from another area near his leg. He decided to lift G and place him to sit on the toilet. Mr. Jones asked the crowd to call the ambulance. Mr. Jones lifted G and brought him to the ambulance in front of the studio. At the time, Mr. Combs and Justin disappeared to another part of the studio. Mr. Combs gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also feared forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So now he's alleging that Puffy and them shot a dude in the bathroom. Once again, he didn't leave. He's still sticking around. And we know he's not a hostage because, look, this is around the time of these crimes. Look.
Everybody going to go home.
If I want to leave right now,
remember every time.
Remember, it's from September 22nd to September 23. Look, September 15th to September 2023. Does he look distressed?
Before he gets here, everybody's looking for me. Oh, what time? He's coming. Like, everybody's asking for me. The boys, kid. Like, it speaks so much value. And then when it gets here, he gets shit done. And like, right now, everybody's gone. He's in charge. Whenever he's ready to go, he's closing the shit. If he want to do overtime, he's doing overtime. Because before he gets here, everybody looking for him. And it's so much like, his vibration and music gives me goosebumps and like energy. And I'm looking forward to get a camera so I document more.
So, that's him in the studio. That's him probably in Chalice's studio. Do he look miserable? Do he look scared for his life? September 15th, 2023. So this is the newspaper clipping. Man shot outside party at Hollywood Recruiter studio. That looked like it says September 12th, 2022. So those pictures is a year later. Okay, so Mr. Jones has several corroborated witnesses who spoke with this writer anonymously because they fear retaliation from Mr. Combs. They have agreed to speak publicly when subpoenaed. So this dude actually was smart because he was putting together a team that he knew was going to follow him and tell when it came down to it. So, Mr. Jones has several corroborating witnesses who spoke with this writer anonymously because they fear retaliation from Mr. Combs. They have agreed to speak publicly when subpoenaed. Mr. Jones has the clothing he wore that day and believes it may still have G blood stains and DNA. The following are screenshots of the aftermath of the restroom where G was shot either by Mr. Combs or J. Combs. I mean, he has documentation, but these are crimes that can't even technically be prosecuted unless G is saying Puffy shot me. G done already said that someone else shot him. And yeah, he can change his mind now, but is he changing his mind to get a check? Is he changing his mind because Puff really shot him? Or, I mean, I'm not saying this didn't happen. If Puff or his son shot somebody, lock him up. Upon information and belief, it is clear that G was not shot outside of the studio, so Mr. Combs instructed his team to report to law enforcement. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs and defendants LR, MR, UMG, and CRS provided private security for the writers' camp at Chalice. The security was poor and lackluster at best. The fact that either Mr. Combs and J. Combs were allowed to enter CRS with guns and those guns were not compensated by security is a clear breach of duty by Mr. Combs. Defendants LR, MR, and UMG to protect Mr. Jones and the other attendees of this rider camp. As a result of the shooting, Mr. Jones is severely traumatized. Mr. Jones now suffers from PTSD, severe anxiety, depression, and insomnia. The following is an image of Mr. Combs a couple of hours before G is shot in the restroom of Chalice. So let's do this. Let's go on this thing. Let's see this. He's smart because technically he doesn't have anything.
Hello, everyone.
He doesn't.
Hey, I run shit here, nigga. I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Little Rod ain't worth giving his kingdom to if we don't control his publishing. I can solve his efforts with 3 other human beings. He's eating at our table, and I like his backstory, but you need to have other people. It's hard to work with him unless we have his power. He's a piece of shit human, but we do not need his talent unless we can work with him.
Hey, I run shit here, nigga. I run shit.
So he doesn't even have any pictures from last year on here because he know dudes like me will come on up on here.
London Broadgate.
I simply just start building the whole building myself, put the spotlight on myself, and I jump in myself. A person who only.
You got a song with T-Pain. How you get that song with T-Pain, bro? Working with Diddy. That's how you got that song with T-Pain, brother. That's how you got that.
Getting so up like a yeah. Me and people that my friends realize that they only ever get a chance to see.
Look at Lil Rod.
Every other night another movie came.
The perfect way to end the year is start a new one. It's all love, Lil Rod. But in this lawsuit, you making life sound like it's miserable. But as I go into the post around the same times as your lawsuit, life look good. I hope Puffy Lawyers is doing this. Life look good, Lil Rod. This September 20, 2022. Look like you partying it up, smiling. Let's go to your complaint. It's September 20th. What days are we at? Okay, September 11th, 2022. Life looks to be good to me, but in this thing, you suffering from PTSD, you're suffering from anxiety. I'm just not seeing it, Lil Rock. This is September 20. You look happy right there, bro. How are you suffering from PTSD? You look happy, bro. Look at you in September 2022. But right here, September 22, over here, your life is just a miserable mess. The following is image of Mr. Combs a couple hours before G is shot in the restroom at Chalice. On or about February 28th, 2024, Chalice sent an Instagram message which alleges that G was shot at a half a block away from Chalice. And this is the information. This is the shooting occurred a half a block away from Chalice, and it was a result of a robbery. There are police reporters corroborating this. Please wait for the facts to come out before you start contributing to defamation of our organization. Upon information and belief, Sean Holly claimed that she had evidence the shooting took place several blocks away and that G returned to the studio after being shot. Upon information and belief, TMZ reports that their law enforcement sources claim the story was told to the cops that night, namely that the victim was robbed at gunpoint and shot by unknown assailants outside. The gunshot victim, G, stepped outside the studio around 3:30 and was accosted by two individuals at which they tried to rob him. The man suffered a gunshot wound. Below is an image of the front of the Chalice recording studios. That's the studio. I done gave you the address. Yeah, I heard Whack 100 say they be recording up there. So you run up on Chalice trying to get a deal, man. You might get some help over there, man. In the photo above, a white van is blocking security gate. Upon information and belief to enter the building, you must buzz the gate and announce which session you are there to attend. Upon information and belief, once the correct session is confirmed, you then must go past another layer of security before you can enter the reception area. Upon information and belief, once inside the reception area, you must identify yourself, and the receptionist will check to ensure that you are on the list of visitors for that session. Once you are confirmed, you are then allowed in. Upon information and belief, to get to the restroom where G was bleeding out, you have to follow a maze. Once you pass the receptionist, you walk down a long hallway, walk past three recording studios, turn left, and go past a lounge area before you arrive at the restroom where G was bleeding out. Upon information and belief, TMZ was reported that Mr. Combs and Jay Combs is not in the studio when the police arrived. This is also factually inaccurate. Mr. Combs and Jay Combs were located in Studio G across the parking lot from the building where G was shot near Studio A. Mr. Combs and Jay Combs hid out and recorded in Studio G while the police investigated and were the first to depart after the officers left. And I guess that's a list of the studio who was in there. He giving everybody information. Hit Boy was at the studio. Aunt Clemens was at the studio. Diddy was at the studio. And G, Ninja was at the studio. Both B, Ty Dolla $ign was in there. Harmony Squad. Eric Bellinger. So that's who was at the studio on that day. So upon information and belief, after being shot in the torso and hip and leg, G was physically incapable of walking. Therefore, the notion that he was shot several blocks away, Sean Holly, half a block away, CRS, or as he stepped outside the studio is implausible. If G could do as much walking as Sean Holly and CRS claim, then Mr. Jones would not have been required to physically pick him off the restroom floor and walk him through the maze that is CRS for him to receive care from the ambulance. This fact will be made crystal clear in discovery. It'll be made clear in discovery that Puffy and them were the first ones left. That's number 7 right there. As of the date of this filing, neither Los Angeles Police Department nor the Los Angeles Fire Department has released any official reports surrounding this shooting. There has been no body camera footage of 911 or 911 call recording. What is even more disturbing is that there has been no sighting of G. The LAPD has only released vaguely written new release date dated September 12, 2022. The unfortunate shooting of G, the unexplained disappearance of G, the lack of disclosure by the LAPD and LFAD, and the incoherent nature of Sean Holly and Chalice Recording Studios' account of shooting raises more questions than answers, point to foul play and an apparent massive cover-up. The deafening silence from attendees of the CRS studio stemmed from understandable fear that the attendees would be sued by Mr. Combs for violating the Non-Disclosure Act. Upon information and belief, A few days before the September 12, 2002 shooting inside a Chalice recording studio, Mr. Combs required all attendees of the CRS shooting to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Mr. Jones did not sign the agreement. A copy of the non-disclosure agreement that witnesses who has actually remained anonymous provided this writer is attached. So people gave him the non-disclosure agreement. Unfortunately, for the attendees of the writers' camp, they are unaware that NDAs and non-binding when it comes to reporting criminal activities such as a shooting, sex trafficking, and distribution use of illegal drugs and guns. Mr. Jones was sexually harassed and assaulted by Mr. Jones. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. Throughout this time, living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was a victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. I'm going to read that again. Yes, I know I read it twice. Throughout his living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. Okay. I had to pause and think about that. So, how can someone constantly, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of your anus? So your anus is just laid out. Then you woke up at 2 in the morning like, walked in the kitchen and said, oh, it's an anus right there on the kitchen table. I'm going to fondle it. An anus is protected by 2 ass cheeks. See this lighter? That's your asshole. Okay? It's 2 ass cheeks protecting that asshole. So for somebody to fondle your asshole, they have to spread your cheeks and put their hands there in between the cheeks. So for him to fondle your anus, your ass had to be out. And if you with another man and your ass be out, you want your anus fondled. That's very clear. If anything I read so far tonight, I do know that if another man or anybody fondled your asshole, your anus, as you say, that means your ass cheeks was out. Because how do I found, if you're fully dressed, how do I fondle your anus? How do I group your anus if you fully dressed? I gotta stick my hand down in your pants. So you stood there for all that. Stick down in your pants or in your boxers. Down up and you probably had a thong on because you know you little freaky dudes. And come on, man. And that's what I mean. The whole black community has already turned on Diddy and y'all ain't even read this senseless bullshit. But anyway, these events occurred in LA, New York, Florida, St. Bartholomew, in the United States Virgin Islands. In addition to unsolicited and unauthorized touching, Mr. Jones was forced by Mrs. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom, and Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in the clear enclosure. So now, he's saying that I'm a music producer. I play guitars, I play drums, I do this, I do this, but Diddy made me work in the bathroom while he was naked. Yo, man, I know you make beats and stuff, but I need you to work in the bathroom, man. I need you to work in the bathroom while I'm taking a shower, bro. Bro, stop it. I'm not buying it. Because you know why I'm not buying it? Because I listen to you right here.
I say, like, this speaks volume. Like, he's closing the session. So whatever time he wants to leave, he's closing. Everybody going to go to home.
If I want to leave right now,
they're looking for him every time before he gets here. Everybody's looking for him. Oh, what time? Each coming. Like everybody's asking for him before race. Kid, like it speaks so much value. And then when he gets here, he gets shit done. And like right now, everybody's gone. He's in charge. Whenever he's ready to go, he's closing this shit. If you want to do overtime, you do overtime. Because before he gets here, everybody looking for him. And it's so much like his vibration and music gives me goosebumps and like energy. and I'm looking forward to get a camera so I document more.
See, the little dude, he said, I want to get a camera so I could document it more. But remember, he said he could leave by himself, but he can leave whenever he want. Everybody's gone. Him and the other dude is just there by themselves. They finna do their thing. They finna get a little freaky. They there by themselves. Come on, man. Let's get back to this lawsuit. Wrong one. So he said the man who just said he could leave whatever he want. Mr. Combs walked around naked in a clear glass enclosure. As a heterosexual Christian man, Mr. Jones is uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances and expresses discomfort to Mr. Combs' chief of staff defendant, KK. KK responded to Mr. Jones' complaint with, "You know Sean will be Sean." KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping of Mr. Jones' anus and genitals as friendly horseplay and stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. "Yeah, I think he like you." "He playing with my anus." "Yeah, I think he like you." "Yeah, I think he like you." "Yeah, I think he like you." Of course he like you, bro. Because y'all was doing things. Like, how do someone grope your anus if your clothes is on, bro? See, he didn't say smack my ass cheeks. He said grope my anus. And if you think that's all he did to that boy booty, you's a fool. You's a fool. Diddy was all up in them guts.
Backdrop. That's all that counts. All the other shit is fucking circus. He backdropped.
Diddy was all up in them guts, boy. Mr. Jones believed, despite the assurance of on several occasions, Mr. Combs began to undress and walk around the house naked. KK would say, "Okay, I'm leaving now," and she would disappear. KK's hypocrisy is breathtaking at best or enabling at worst. So, KK, when Diddy would get naked, would get up and leave. So why Mr. Rodney Jones didn't get up and leave? You know why Mr. Rodney Jones didn't get up and leave? Because he was living in Diddy's $1 million house. He was living in, you know what? Let's pull it up. Look, this one of Diddy's homes right there, man. Oh, he sold that home. My fault, y'all. He sold that home. That's one of his homes right there. You think Lil Rod Jones wanted to leave that? Huh? You think Lil Rod Jones wanted to he live in all of that? You know what I'm saying? Diddy had another house. He lived in all that. You think he wanted to give that up? But remember, he could leave anytime he want, except for in the pages of this lawsuit. Right here, if you go to Lil Rod, look, Lil Rod, watch him.
And this not one time, two times, all the time.
All the time.
And he could tell you himself, am I lying before you leave? Oh, you're not living. Am I lying?
No, you don't lie. You don't lie.
Before a little time in the past before you leave. Am I lying?
No.
You know, like, oh, I need to work on this. I need to work on this.
I try to leave. They try to keep me here.
Am I lying, bro?
No, you're right.
I pay attention. I'm a student. I'm learning. I pay attention, bro. I pay attention, bro. I'm a student. I'm learning, bro. That speaks value, bro.
So if I want to leave right now, I can, right?
You, whenever you want, you in charge.
If I want to stay overtime,
if you want to say you stay, if you want to overtime, you the one close.
He the one that closed the sessions. He can leave anytime he want. He was never a hostage until he got into the pages of this lawsuit. You heard him leaving out one.
Wasn't. It speaks value because you're in charge. Man.
He in charge. He in charge of his own fate. He was in charge of his anus that he let Diddy fondle. See, what be happening is people okay. He was okay with Diddy following his booty hole. You know why? Because he stayed around. He wasn't scared. He thought he was going to be rich and famous, and he thought the following was going to be forever. But Diddy moved on. Diddy had Meek. He had other fondlers. When people find out you're not the forever, they get mad. They want to sue. They want to do this. They want to do that. But let's get back into this lawsuit because, boy, you see, we got about 100 more pages, 80 more pages to go. Mr. Combs' attempt to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay sex. Mr. Combs knew Mr. Jones looked up to and idolized music producer Stevie Aaron Jordan, Stevie J. Based on the information and belief, Stevie J is an American DJ, recorder, record producer, and television personality. Based on information and belief, Stevie J was part of Bad Boy Records production team, The Hitmen. Upon information and belief, in 1997, Stevie J won a Grammy Award for his work on Puff Daddy's debut album. Upon information and belief, throughout the 1990s, Stevie J produced for several artists, including Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell, The Notorious Big, 112, Jodeci, Faith Evans, Jay-Z, and E. Based upon information and belief, Stevie J was one of the producers of the Love album. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used access to Stevie J and his knowledge to Mr. Jones' admiration of Stevie J to groom and entice Mr. Jones and to engage in sexual acts. Mr. Combs went so far as to share a video of who he claims was Stevie J annually penetrating a Caucasian male without a condom. Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs showed him this and attributed to his idol Stevie J to ease Mr. Jones' anxiety concerning homosexuality. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs said, "This is normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J isn't doing it." According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper, redacted R&B singer, redacted, and Stevie J. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engaged in homosexual acts. So now, Little Rod is alleging that Diddy promised him a Grammy. Diddy promised him this. Diddy promised him that. That's what he's alleging now. It's August 2020. You know, I'm just saying, Lil Rod don't look all this stressed to me. January, look at him with French Montana, Puffy. He don't look like the dude that was having a stressed life to me. That's December. That's a month after you claim dudes got shot. That's a month after you're looking good. You said you out in St. Bart speaking French. That's what you said in this picture, man. But it's funny, because in the lines of that lawsuit, this is a month after the studio shooting, right here. You don't look like you stressed out. You don't look like you stressed. And look, you got dummies in the car. This all the evidence we need. Diddy's a groomer. He showers you with gifts and asks us to show you his power. Then he takes what he wants, whenever he wants, and dares you to push back. Listen, man, you don't gotta be gay for no man. You don't gotta be gay for no money. So if a man is giving you money and possessions and you doing shit for her, that's what you want to do. Don't try to sit here and blame Diddy. Everybody is grown, man. Do this man look like he's in his best? Come on, man. Let's get back to this frivolous lawsuit. So, on Thanksgiving Day, 2022, Mr. Jones was in Mr. Combs' house in Miami, Florida. Young Miami and her female cousin, Jane Doe 1, were also present. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered cocaine to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones rejected him and proceeded to walk to the restroom. While using the restroom, Young Miami's cousin busted into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones believed that Mrs. Combs sent her there to sexually assault Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on Mr. Jones' exposed penis. Mr. Jones began pushing her away and exited the bathroom. So, let's get this right. Mr. Jones don't want nobody following his booty, and he don't want no females. Well, what do you want, Mr. Jones? Hold on. Let me go back. So, you telling me you, the guy on the yacht that's rocking out, you don't want no head, you don't want your booty found, or you just was out here not freaking, not doing anything? Or is that just on the pages of this lawsuit, brother? Just on the pages of the lawsuit. You don't want no hair, you don't want nothing but Diddy. Call me. See, Diddy, I can do this job. Be around to be your Batman, but nah, we not gonna pound no asses. We not gonna do none of that, Mr. Diddy. We definitely gonna be scuffling. But I could be around to get some head and, get homegirl out the room so you can go in the room and do what you and your peoples do. But on Thanksgiving Day, while using the restroom, Young Miami's cousin busted into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs sent her in there to sexually assault Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, as he entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on Mr. Jones' exposed penis. And it was pissy and everything, bro. You just had the life. She didn't care. Mr. Jones pushed her away and exited the bathroom. According to Mr. Jones, Young Miami's cousin did not accept Mr. Jones' rejection. As she proceeded to follow Mr. Jones out the bathroom, she started undressing and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. Despite the lack of assistance from Mr. Combs and his staff, Mr. Jones pushed her off. The following are images from a video of Young Miami, her cousin, and Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs. And so, as you can see, where they start at. See, Mr. Combs went so far as to share the video he claims was Stevie J, so that's number 9. You see all the little numbers, 10. Look, even Stevie J is doing it. So let's go down here. With 9, this writer is in possession of the video and will provide a copy of the court. So that he claiming he has the video of Stevie J. Upon information and belief, Stevie J denies he is the person in the video. A male porn star claimed that he was the black male in the video. Mr. Jones stand by his position that Mr. Combs provided him with the video and identified the video individual in the video as TVJ. He is a Philly rapper who dated Nicki. We already know he performed at the Super Bowl and has a special Vegas. That's Usher. This writer is in possession of the video and provide a copy to the court. The video of Young Miami. So he's claiming he got video to all these things. But I'm 100% sure this is an amended lawsuit, right? And when I first read it, I remember it sounding stupid over here because he said something like, oh, I went to the bathroom. First, he said him and Puffy was doing cocaine. Let's see. On Thanksgiving Day, Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs' house located in Miami. Young Miami and her female cousin were also present. Mr. Combs was intoxicated and off the coast. Mr. Jones rejected him, proceeded to walk to the bathroom. While he was in the restroom, was in the gang room, wasn't shown. Yeah, saying it's the same thing in the amended one. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper. Yeah, we read that. On Thanksgiving Day, Mr. Combs, we read that. Mrs. Jones gave him head despite the lack of assistance. And here's a picture of Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs on Thanksgiving Day, right after Mr. Combs invites Mr. Jones into the bathroom and attempted to force him to take coke. Now, that's where I had the problem because up there he says, on Thanksgiving, Mr. Jones was in Mr. Combs' house with Miami, Florida. Young Miami and her female cousin was present. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered cocaine to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones rejected him and proceeded to walk to the bathroom. Right? So down here, it says Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs on Thanksgiving Day, right before Mr. Combs invite Mr. Jones into the bathroom and attempt to force him to take cocaine. Now, see, up there, he said Diddy offered him the cocaine and he denied Diddy and went to the bathroom. But under the pictures, he says Diddy invited him to the bathroom to do cocaine. So by your own word, you went to the bathroom. What? To do cocaine. Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs on Thanksgiving. Young Miami and John Doe one who sexually assaulted Mr. Jones on Thanksgiving Day. Listen, man, I can't tell. She don't look the best. She a little chunky. I would have took her, man. Damn, bro, you ain't with Diddy, man. I'll take Young Miami cousin. Did you pass her off already? Because I'll take her. So Trafficking and Victims Protection Act. According to Mr. Jones, he was transported from California to New York, Florida, to St. Louis, the United States Virgin Islands throughout his time with Mr. Colson. According to Mr. Jones, during his time with Mr. Jones was forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to pleasure Mr. Combs. On or about February 4th, 2023, Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring prostitute sex workers back to his home in Florida. Let's see if we got any February on his social media. February, what year? 2023. Let's see, February 2023. That's New Year's. He don't look distressing, you know. January 4th. January 19th. Like, look good, man. You still chilling with Frenchie.
We are them niggas, and they can't fuck with us. Yeah, we are them niggas.
Now, I'm gonna go back to that video. Excuse me. I smoke nothing but the good shit. Now, It's funny. Let's look at this comment. Looks like this man is a humble black man working, trying to make a living, and P. Diddy, the user, don't want to pay him. And because he thinks he the man, he thinks he can pull whatever card he wants and don't have to pay nobody. But God gonna see about that. Did he know he had this man working this his years? Him doing people wrong, going all the way back to Toto and the rest of them. He need to come off the money and pay this man his coins. Now, that's what Ashley had to say. Ashley, did you ever think he lived in $40 million homes? He lived in $100 million homes. He flew on private jets that cost $30,000 and $40,000 just to get it off the ground. And if he flew somewhere, he flew back. So double that up. He lived, like he said, he lived in Florida, Miami, New York. He flew all over the place. He lived on yachts. You think 9 songs pay for all that? Because go tell the Locks and them why they ain't doing good. Go tell all them other rappers that ain't doing good that wrote more than 9 songs. What do y'all think Diddy owe this man for 9 songs? Like, people don't even think. Think about it. What do you think Diddy owe him for 9 songs? He wrote 9 songs. What do people really think Diddy owe this man? 9 songs. There's a whole bunch of rappers that got 9 songs. There's a whole bunch of R&B singers that got 9 songs and ain't got a dollar. That got more than 9 songs and ain't got a dollar. TLC got way more songs than 9. They broke as hell. So all these people that keep saying Diddy owe this man money, how much money do y'all think you get for 9 songs? How much money do you think it costs one person to live in a $40 million mansion? More than he got. Because a broke dude don't live in a $40 million mansion. How much do you think that it costs Little Rod to hop in the private, to leave Florida, Miami, hop in a private jet, go to Diddy's other home in California, live it up, eat, have serving you food, cooking you food. How much you think that costs Lil Rod? Nothing, because he ain't got it. He ain't got it. If he wrote those 9 songs from home and gave them to Diddy, that's a different story. He wrote them 9 songs from a $100 million home. He wrote them 9 songs flying on a private jet. He wrote them 9 songs eating at the most fanciest restaurants in the world. He wrote them 9 songs on a private boat, a yacht, with French Montana. You want to see? You don't believe me? Up.
Shit on my mind, like shit, put it to time, take me surprise. Every other night another movie get me. Shit on my mind, like shit, put it to time, take me surprise. Every other night another movie get me.
See what I'm saying? He wrote them 9 songs for a yacht. How much that cost? People think that he owe this man money. How much you think that cost right there? That scene right there, that little ride right there. He taking, look at him.
Shit on my mind, like shit, put it to time, take me surprise. Every other night another movie get me. Shit on my mind, like.
You understand what I'm saying? That man was living the life. But once he was all used up, once he wrote those 9 songs, once Diddy did what he did, once Diddy moved on, oh, now Diddy owe me. Diddy this, Diddy that. Do he look like Diddy owe?
Put it to time, take me surprise. Every other night another movie get me. Shit on my mind, like shit, put it to time.
Do he look worried? Do he look unhappy? Do he look like he's being held hostage? Come on, man. Don't sell Diddy out just yet, man. Let's get back to this. According to Mr. Jones, he was transported from California to New York, Florida, St. Bartholomew, and the United States Virgin Islands throughout this time with Mr. Combs. Said he was forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to pleasure Mr. Combs. On or about February 4th, 2023, Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring prostitutes and sex workers back to his home in Miami, Florida. The sex workers that Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring back to his home. Well, them look like some low-budget hoes the way they dress, because what the fuck is this? This ain't how some sexy sex workers dress. Them look like some bitches on the side of the road with some sundresses on. On or about February 2nd, 2023, you know me, I like to see if I could find something in February 2023.
We are
February 2023. Look at you playing the guitar in February. You said things are different. Legacy. March. You locked in March. You locked in, bro. What happened? It was all good back in March 31st, 2023. So, on or about February 2nd, 2020, Mr. believes Mr. Combs drugged him. Mr. Jones recalled waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in bed with two sex workers and Mr. Combs. He also recalls aimless wandering around the house with no clothes on. So you was walking around with no clothes on. Of course your booty cheeks got fondled. Sex worker in Mr. Jones' bed the morning after being drugged. You know what I think? Like he got a lot of pictures and everything. So, right? This is another thing people don't think about. At this point, he don't know he ain't getting paid. At this point, he's living a life. At this point, he's living, great. He's doing things he ain't never did, ain't never gonna do. Look, he in the studio with Diddy in them. Right? This is all in February 20. No rehearsal, straight to tours. Right? This is all in February. This is when he's saying, he's getting sex workers. He don't look distraught. Look, that's him in February. Do he look distraught in February? He playing the guitar. Legacy. You know what I'm saying? He playing the guitar, February 24th. But he did disappear February, unless he erased pictures from February to the 31st, because he from the 24th to all of March, he didn't post. Because look, he went from February 24th, February 6th, from the 6th, 2024, if he didn't post. So January to February, But over here in the books of the lawsuit, Thanksgiving night in 2022, well, February 2nd, this is February 5th. So he playing music, he chilling. Fiji water. He playing the guitar. Got a picture of Puff in the back. He chilling. February 5th, 2023. So what was happening 2 days before this? 2 days before this, he claimed Mr. Jones drugged him. He claimed Mr. Jones recalls waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in the bed with 2 sex workers and Mr. Combs. He also recalled aimlessly wandering the crib. This happened February 2nd, 2023. Look at him. Does he look like he's stressed out? But remember, like I was saying, I lost track of my point. He don't know he not getting paid yet. He don't know he's fucked over yet. So why is he taking all these pictures? Huh? Diddy, tell you, man, listen, I told y'all, tell Diddy to put me on his dream team. If he don't know he not getting paid yet, right? He's still working on the album. He's still doing shit. As you can see from his Instagram, he's still having a good time, right? He flying on jets. He going all over the world. He's living in Diddy's big homes. But why is he taking pictures like this? Why? Why is he taking pictures of Young Miami in them? Why? Because he had the game plan. This whole time, he knew he was planning and plotting because at these times, he don't know he's not getting paid yet. See, this is how you got to pay attention before people start throwing Diddy to the wolves. You got to look at people's motives. He don't know he not getting paid, but he's taking pictures of shit. He's taking pictures of the drugs. He's taking pictures of this. He's taking pictures of the gun. Because he had a mission. He came in with a mission. Either he was working with the police before he got down with Diddy, or somewhere along the way he started working with the police. Because why is he taking pictures? Why they not on his gram? Or were they on his gram and he took them all down? Was he taking pictures for the gram? And now he trying to say he's taking pictures to take records? No, this dude full of shit. This dude full of shit. You taking pictures of the bitches in your bed because you wanted to brag. According to Mr. Jones, on another occasion in Miami, playing on Thanksgiving night at 22, Mr. Combs asked Mr. Jones and D. Frost Taylor to enter the studio bathroom. According to Mr. Jones, he asked them for a $100 bill because he wanted them to do cocaine with him. Mr. Jones was scared, but luckily he didn't have a $100 bill, so Mr. Combs waited a little later to do coke with Young Miami. According to Mr. Jones, later that evening, Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers from Booby Track on the river located at 36115 Northwest South River Drive, Miami, Florida. I just gave you the address to the strip club. Mr. Jones did so, and Mr. Combs forced him to engage in unsolicited sex acts with these workers. So, I seen you to get the hoes, and I make you fuck the hoes? Come on, man. How is this dude... How is this? I guess to white people, this sound believable. But this shit sound funny as hell. This shit sounds silly as hell. Look at the Booby Trap Club, Glow Van. Y'all strip clubs is top of the line. Y'all got a van, pick niggas up and drop chicks off and do all type of shit, huh? According to Mr. Jones, as part of Mr. Jones' sex work recruitment tools, Mr. Combs provided Mr. Jones with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap. They required him to wear it to the booby trap on the river as a signal to any sex worker he approached that Mr. Combs was in town, and sent Mr. Jones to recruit them. Now, in certain places, Las Vegas, pussy is legal. Buying pussy is legal. Not saying it's legal in Florida. But what I'm saying is like, come on, move on. There's no crime here. It's okay if you want to buy some pussy. And it's okay if somebody wants to sell you some pussy. And he went to a respectable place to buy pussy, a strip club. They selling pussy all over that place. All through there. All around there. They selling it on the tables. They selling it on the bar top. They selling it in the back room. They selling it in the side room. They selling it in the goddamn bathroom. They sell it with your drink, on your drink, in your drink. Just juices everywhere. case anybody didn't know, that's what they do at a strip club. They sell pussy. So Diddy buying some pussy. Once again, there's no crimes here. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones had no desire to visit the booby trap on the river. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit sex workers from the booby trap on the river. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting workers from booby trap on the rivers. As detailed below, Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain domain and control over Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, these workers was accustomed to serving Mr. Combs and would know he was in town by the sight of the Bad Boys baseball cap. The following are Instagram profiles of two of the sex workers that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicitate and have sex with at his homes in Florida and Miami. Damn. I mean, can I get that number? I mean, shit. That don't look like the other two girls from the other pictures. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit or have sex with the individuals in the previous paragraph. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting and sleeping with these women. The following is the phone number of another sex worker that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and perform sex acts with at his home in Miami, Florida. Damn, man, come on, man. Y'all give me address. Y'all give me everything, man. Can I get the Facebook? Let's make these girls famous. Yeah. Them bodies is that. But I'm a funny dude because definitely on this one, I see a little dinginess. Like she got some little dusty ankles and she cleaned up, but she just forgot like around here look a little dingy too. Like, you know, this one got little lines on her. I hope there's some stockings on there or that's just some shadows or something because, you know, y'all might have been picking up some corner girls. And their poses is just all. It's like you taking pictures cocking your legs open. They need to be like ain't nothing sexy. You know, when I first seen them, I was like, whoa, because that's a little body. But then when you slow down and you start looking, there might be little men's. It's a little puffy down here. No Diddy intended. But let's move on. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit and have sex with the individuals in the previous paragraph. We already read that. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used his tactics to maintain domain and control over Mr. Jones. He promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album. Yeah, I'm going to get you a Grammy. How can Puffy just promise you a Grammy, bro? He don't got that power. He offered him $250,000 to purchase all their instruments. He promised him ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised access to record label executives. So, you thought, because I'm going to go pick up these hoes. Because that's all you was doing, going to pick up the girls. You wasn't soliciting. You going to pick them up. Like you said, they seen the hat. They knew what it is. So you didn't never talk prices because he would tell you. Not that I've seen. I've read most of this. He never said a price. So if he was soliciting prostitution, how much he paid for them? He don't know. Because he ain't never paid for them. All he know is he went in with a hat and he picked the girls up. That's it. That's like me telling my man, yo, man, go pick these two chicks up, man. We about to go in. And you went, bro. And you went. Because you wanted to go. You know why I know you wanted to go? Look at you. You having a good time. Life good. And you wanted to go. Look at you. Look at you, bro. You wanted to be where you at, bro. You wanted, look. You was happy. You was living the life. But then the problem
We are them niggas, and they can't fuck with us. Yeah,
this was all the way the beginning of January 29, 2023. You were saying we them ninjas, remember? That can't fuck with us. Now, we in 2024 and you singing a whole different tune. But like I said, you didn't know you wasn't getting paid yet. Why was you storing all this information? Why was you taking all these pictures? You didn't know you was gonna not get paid yet. See, you had a plan. You had a goal. You knew what you was doing. Diddy fell asleep and wasn't paying attention. Diddy was caught up in that booty. Diddy got played just like a pretty girl would play you. But y'all just in a different world. Because if you thought, oh, yo, go pick up these chicks. I'm going to give you a $250,000 worth of instruments. Yo, go pick up these chicks, sleep with her. I'm going to give you a $20 million home. Come on, man. That don't even make sense. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs would often switch up his approach. He would go from promising Mr. Jones the world to threatening Mr. Jones with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones' face and informed Mr. Jones that he was willing to kill his mother, Janice Combs, if he must get what he wanted, so he wouldn't think twice about harming Mr. Jones. In light of Mr. Combs' detailed history of committing violent crimes, plaintiff's fear of Mr. Combs is reasonable. On or about July 2nd, 2023, Mr. Combs held a listening party. Let's see if we could find any July 2023 in here. That's January 2023.
If you wanna be fly like I am, hide in the money like I am. Got a couple bad bitches like damn. Might know how to write that sound. Big sticks on me and around.
Ron called me, say, yo, Dream, I'm in the city. Pull up. I said, look, come in with the big sprinter, and we ride a big wave. We call it knock.
I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Buffing my nails, dog, I'm trying to get buff. Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. The hills, cause I'm living.
Now look, remember in the beginning, he said he missed birthday parties with his family and all that. Right here is I went black for a minute. I was working back outside now. I got them tweaking. Look.
For my life in the cut. Can't imagine that I'm gonna meet my wife in the club. We gonna see though. I feel like she more of a CEO. Or maybe she doing volunteer work.
Look, he got the bad boy hat on. So was he picking up prostitutes that night? Because he said he only wore the bad boy hat to pick up prostitutes. Was he picking up prostitutes that night? Did he? Get me on your team. Was he picking up prostitutes? Because he said he wear bad boy hats when he picking up prostitutes. This May 12, 2023.
Another beat, rolling by my family, I'm now say I got my problem. I'm driving never the gang, driving dominant. This white boy, so I'm rapped about bobbing and sweaters and hold the comments because I'm.
Ron called me, say, yo, Dream, I'm in the city. Pull up. I said, look, come in with the big sprinter, and we ride a big wave. We call it knock.
I've been smooth for so long.
Look, happy birthday, Little Rob. But he said he missed birthday parties and many things in that lawsuit. In that lawsuit, all my life was so miserable. I missed family functions and I missed birthdays. Diddy hire me, man. Because you see, he full of shit. Happy birthday, Lil Rob. So he ain't missed no birthdays. He just didn't celebrate it with his poor family members. See, people want to diss Diddy and down Diddy. Y'all don't pay attention. Lil Rod's full of shit in his lawsuit. I missed birthdays and I had a poor, miserable life with Diddy right here. Party. Happy birthday, Little Rod. You see it. But let's get back over here. Oh, we was looking for any July. Is there anything in July? What was he doing in July? We know he's celebrating birthdays in May. Nope. Jump from May to August, so he erased all his July posters. That's one thing I noticed about the lawsuit. All his things that he claimed happened, if you go to his social media, there's no postings from those dates. They're gone. Like, he clearly erased them because, once again, he knew somebody like me would be smart and prove he full of shit. But on or about July 2nd, Mr. Combs had a listening party at his home in California. According to Mr. Jones, present at this party were R&B singer artist Redacted, J. Combs, sex workers, and some underage girls. According to Mr. Jones, the event began at 7 p.m. Mr. Combs requested female sex workers and required Mr. Jones to solicit them. An hour later, several sex workers appeared. According to Mr. Jones, in addition to sex workers, there were at least 5 women in the crowd who were under age of 16. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs forced all the women to drink laced DeLeon liquor upon information and belief. Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. Okay, so Mr. Jones, Mr. Puffy requested sex workers. You went and got them, right? That was dumb. Like, that's dumb. That you pop up and then you move my shit. But, so, you went and got the sex workers. So now you're saying there was 5 women in the crowd who were under age of 16. So, you went and got them. That's why Diddy don't even know he was set up from get-go. This dude been working for the police. Because, like I said, why was he taking pictures? You don't know you're not getting paid yet. You ain't been fucked off yet. You still living a life. You still making music. So why were you taking pictures? Who does that? Who hangs around their friends and take pictures of the drugs? He was planning this. He was setting this up. He was part of this. He been a decoy the whole time. Yeah, bring some, get the coke, take a picture of it. Like, he was part of this. He has to be. It makes no sense. But as people out there, yeah, Diddy, guilty. Come on, man. This dude was a informant the whole time, working for the police, engaging in all this shit. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs forced all women to drink laced DeLeon liquor. Upon information to believe, Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs did not check the identification of any of these underage girls. According to Mr. Jones, the president of these underage women made him very uncomfortable. He attempted to leave and Mr. Combs forced him to stay.
Your ride for me, say, yo, Preem, I'm in the city. Pull up. I said, look, come in with the big sprinter and we ride a big wave. We call it knock.
I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Buffing my nails, dog, I'm trying to get buff. Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. The hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut. Can't imagine that I'm gonna meet my wife.
This dude right here. Let's look at what he says.
Oh, I say, like, this speaks volume. Like, he's closing the session. So whatever time he wants to leave, he's closing. Everybody going to go home.
If I want to leave right now,
I was looking for him every time before he gets here. Everybody's looking for him. Oh, what time? He's coming.
This
like,
is
everybody's
him.
asking for him. Divorce, age, kid. Like,
This is him in September of 2023 saying he can leave whenever he want. This is after all of these crimes occurred. This is after all of them crimes occurred. And he's talking about he can leave whenever he wants.
it speaks so much value. And when it gets shit done, and like right now everybody's gone, he's in charge. Whenever he's ready to go, he's closing the shit. If he want to do overtime,
Whenever he's ready to go, he closing the shit. If he want to do overtime, he do overtime. He want to leave, he leave. Listen.
we do overtime. Because before he gets here, everybody looking for him. And it's so much like his vibration and music gives me goosebumps and like energy. And I'm looking forward to get a camera so I document more.
Anybody that hang around Diddy want to get a camera. He want to document more. Now, clearly they in the studio setting, right? He's talking about leaving the studio, so they probably in Chalice studio, right? But look, he's talking about getting a camera and documenting it. You think he's going to get a camera and document sex and gay shit? You think they're going to let him look like a nobody do that? Come on, man. You know, the only time Lil Rod was hostage was in the lawsuit.
And this not one time, two times, all the time. I could tell you himself. Am I lying before you leave? Oh, you're not living. Am I lying?
No, he's not lying. He's not lying.
Before a little time in the past before you leave. Am I lying?
No.
You know, like, oh, I need to work on this. I need to work on this.
I try to leave. They try to keep me here.
Am I lying, bro?
No, you're right.
I pay attention. I'm a student. I'm learning. I pay attention, bro. I pay attention, bro. I'm a student. I'm learning, bro. That speaks value, bro.
So if I want to leave right now, I can, right?
Whenever you want, you in charge.
If I want to stay overtime,
if you want to say you stay, if you want to do overtime, you're the one closing. It speaks value because you're in charge.
You see? You in charge, but once we get in the walls of this lawsuit, he was just this prisoner. Now, mind you, this is after the studio shooting. This is after all of this stuff. You know, that's older. That's September 15th, 2023. But on or about July 2nd of 23, he had a listening party at his home. According to Mr. Jones, about 7 p.m., Mr. Combs was female sex workers laced in ecstasy. According to Mr. Jones, the presence of the underage woman made him very uncomfortable. He attempted to leave, and Mr. Combs forced him to stay. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs went so far as to take Mr. Jones' car keys to prevent him from leaving. After being forced to drink laced de Leon shots, Mr. Jones began feeling lightheaded and recalls passing out and waking up at 4 a.m. the following morning naked with a sex worker sleeping next to him. So, what is it, bro? You could leave when you want, you run the show, you do what you want, or Diddy controlled you? See, the whole world has already found Diddy guilty, but didn't never read this shit. Didn't never see how sloppy this shit is. Didn't never see how none of this shit don't made up. You go to his Instagram, life was good, but you go to the walls of this lawsuit, oh, he was just miserable. It ain't adding up, bro. The math ain't mathing. Mr. Combs attempted to pass off Mr. Jones to Cuban Gooding Jr. Mr. Jones believed Mr. Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends. The fear became a reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuban Gooding Jr. while they were on Mr. Combs' yacht. According to Mr. Jones, during the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba get to know Mr. Jones better. He then left them alone in a makeshift studio on the yacht. This is Puffy probably telling him, like, yo, I got one for you, man. Listen, man, I'll be following his anus. I got one for you. Moment before Jones is assaulted, as evidenced by a video of which screenshots are embedded below. Cuban Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and following Mr. Jones' legs, upper inner thighs, near his groin, the small of his back, near his buttocks, and his shoulders. According to Mr. Jones, he was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Cuban Jr. This writer has spoken to an eyewitness who was a former employee of the yacht who confirmed this. Do you notice all people grouped together? He's a former employee of a Diddy, right? And it says right here, the writer has spoken with the eyewitness. The eyewitness is a former employee of the yacht. So you get my point? former disgruntled employees. You not working on the yacht no more. You not working for Diddy no more. Now y'all mad at the world. Now y'all want to set your job on fire. You want to set Diddy on fire. Why? Because y'all not living the life anymore. Not because somebody did something to y'all. Because y'all not living the life no more. But anyways, he rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooden Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcefully pushed him away. The following is a screenshot of the encounter with Cuban Gooden Jr. It says, forcibly tussling Mr. Jones. That don't look like, I don't know. That don't even look like you, honestly, Mr. Jones. But we could always go over here, Mr. Jones. Let's see.
Oh, man.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. That look like the same smile. Look like the same smile. Look like the same smile. You don't look like you're unhappy. Nah, I don't think so. Throughout this time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was under an implied work-for-hire agreement. According to Mr. Jones, he was not compensated for his time living with Mr. Combs or for his songs produced. So, according to Mr. Jones, he was not compensated for his time living with Mr. Combs or for the songs he produced. So, let me get this right. Me, I own a $40 million mansion. I own another one for 60. I got private jets. Fuel costs about $60,000 just to get us up in the air. And I gotta pay you for living with me? According to Mr. Jones, he was not compensated for the time living with Mr. Combs or for the songs he produced. So he's saying those are two different things. You see what I'm saying, black community that follow this fucking idiot? He's saying two different things. He owed for his time with living with Mr. Combs. So if I own a $60 million mansion, I bring you to my mansion and I give you all the finer things in life. You eat fine, you got chefs, we go out to the fine restaurants in the finest cars, we fly on jets, we go to Paris just for something to eat. I gotta pay you? Are we not listening to how crazy this man sounds? But guess what? We all already turned on Diddy. We can't turn back now. That's where the black community go wrong. So this master say turn, we turn, and then we can't go back. According to Mr. Jones, he was not compensated for his time living with Mr. Combs or for his songs he produced. 9 songs. According to Mr. Jones, he was recruited by Frankie Santella to work on the Love album. Mr. Jones informed Mr. Santella that he required the following to work on the Love album: $20,000 per song, 4 royalty points, credit as a producer, and credit for each instrument Mr. Jones played. And Mr. Jones must retain his publishing rights. According to Mr. Jones, they agreed to the terms detailed above after a meeting with Frankie Santella. Mr. Jones met with defendant Combs, who further reiterated and guaranteed that the above-mentioned terms were accepted. As a result, Mr. Jones began working on the album. See, here's another thing that's bullshit. Because, see, he amended this lawsuit to add Gooden Jr. Why? Because he's an easy victim. He already got sexual assault. So he just did that because he was an easy victim. evidence, he was listed as producer for the following songs on the Love album, final release: Deliver Me, Part 1, Reaching, What's Love, Stay a While, Moments, Need Somebody, Homecoming, and Tough Love. Mr. Combs and defendants LR, MR, and UMG benefited from Mr. Jones' work product. They failed to compensate Mr. Jones for his work. As a result, Mr. Combs and defendant LR, MR, and UMG were all unjustly enriched at Mr. Jones' expense. According to Mr. Jones, he attempted to work with Mr. Combs to support his publishing and royalty rights for the work he completed on Love album. Mr. Combs only offered Mr. Jones $29,000 for 13 months, thousands of hours of work, and 9 songs that made it to the Love album. Mr. Jones was willing to take $50,000, his publishing and royalties. Mr. Combs' self-serving greed would not allow him to pay Mr. Jones an additional $21,000. Mr. Combs' deceptive business practice became so bad that Mr. Jones was left with no choice other than to make a public plea on social media for Mr. Combs to pay him for his work. After publicly requesting that Mr. Jones do the right thing and pay him fairly, Mr. Jones received onslaught threatening messages from Stevie J and Love Records A&R DeFrost Taylor. So sounds like what he was saying was he asked Diddy for $50,000 for his publishing and royalties, and Diddy was going to offer $29,000. And it seems like, I guess, publishing and royalties. But you can see it that both ways, because dude said, oh, well, his greed wouldn't allow him to pay an additional $21,000. Your greed wouldn't allow you to take a less $21,000. See, that works both ways. That's the thing about black people. They want to throw some shit at you, not knowing or not paying attention. That should apply to yourself. You could have took the loss too. You wanted Diddy to take it, you could have took it. Give me 1 second. That's what's funny about black people. Oh, did he greed for $21,000? Maybe you're greed for $21,000. Like, you don't. What about flying in those private jets? What about all that lifestyle you was living? Like, at the end of the day, $50,000, he don't owe you that. I'm pretty sure one ride on his jet costs more than $50,000, bruh. Next time, you should make albums in your house and sell them from your house. Don't live the good life until you can afford it. Because when you lose it, you start selling out your peoples. After publishing requesting that Mr. Combs do the right thing and pay him fairly, Mr. Jones received an onslaught of threatening messages from Stevie J and Love Records A&R DeFrost Taylor. This writer has retained other creative artists and writers who have experienced the same treatment from Mr. Combs and will file a suit in the coming months. As the A&R of Love Records, DeFrost Taylor did not require Mr. Jones or any other creative artist to sign an NDA. Okay, this looks like this is the DeFrost dude you playing. I'm in studio. Laughing out loud, you're 100% liar and weirdo. Good luck. Number's still the same. Run into nigga, come talk to me in public on a public podcast and forum. DeFrost Taylor threatening Mr. Jones. It says, you playing, I'm in the studio. Laughing out loud, you 100% liar and weirdo. Good luck. Number still the same. Run into nigga. come talk to me in public on a public broadcasting forum. I don't see no threatening. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs is very forceful and demanding. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs does not take no for an answer and would often threaten and inflict bodily harms on Mr. Jones, and Mr. Jones did not comply with his demands. As detailed above, Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones' face. According to Mr. Jones, on another occasion while standing in Mr. Combs' bedroom, Mr. Jones was forced to watch Mr. Combs display his guns and bragged about getting away with shooting people. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in a nightclub in New York where rapper Shine. According to Mr. Jones, he shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, a.k.a. J-Lo, carried a firearm into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual, according to a civil complaint filed by Cassie. During that decade-long relationship, Mr. Combs demanded that Mrs. Center to carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous she is. So if I say carry my pistol, why does that show you how comfortable and dangerous I am? You know, when we from the hood, we expect our girl to carry our pistol and get it in the club because we can't get it in the club. That's not no intimidation factor. You see how these lawyers just make up stuff? According to Mr. Jones, as was the case with Jennifer Lopez and Miss Venture, Mr. Combs required Brandon Paul and Mr. Jones to carry his firearms on their person whenever they went out. One of those occasions, Mr. Jones was required to carry Mr. Combs' firearms was when Mr. Combs recorded himself coaching Mr. Jones on how to solicit sex workers. According to Mr. Jones, see, here's some other bullshit. Here's some other shit that I see bullshit, right? This dude talk about shit he wasn't around for. Probably wasn't even born for. He wasn't around for the J-Lo shit. So why is police taking any information he say about the J-Lo shit? He could have Googled all this shit because it's not making sense to me that you thought you was finna be rich and famous, right? So I guess, you know, it would be better if you say you was taking these pictures from memories and your social media, because to me, it's looking like, bro, you came in with a plan. You came in to set Diddy up. Because I don't know nobody in their right mind that film drugs, take pictures of drugs and take pictures and saying this is a prostitute. And who does that, bro? I really don't understand that. I don't know many people that would do that. But let's continue reading. So, according to Mr. Jones, the shooting in the Child's Record District confirms Combs' statement. Based on information and belief, these statements reinforce Mr. Jones' fear of Mr. Combs and strengthen Mr. Combs' domain and control over Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs consistently made it clear that he has immense power in the music industry and law enforcement and with law enforcement. According to Mr. Jones, he made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people and problems disappear. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Hammond if police in Miami or California ever pulled him over. Upon information and belief, Mr. Hammond spoke with the LAPD after G was shot at the CRS. The LAPD was in the CRS, witnessed the blood in the bathroom. They went with the bogus claim that the shooting in G occurred outside the studio. This was all thanks to Mr. Hammond's connection within the law enforcement. So, now, this guy is claiming Diddy's bodyguard has all this pull with the police, right? Now, don't get me wrong. It's possible, right? But if Diddy's bodyguard was some white cop that used to work in LA, I might buy it. But I don't think too many black cops got the power to move the LAPD. I don't think too many black cops got the power. I mean, he's not even a black cop. He's just a rapper security. I don't believe too many rapper security got the power to tell the police department what to do. So, a lot of this is mumbo jumbo, hearsay, and Diddy just got problems with powerful people. Because off of this shit, they shouldn't be raiding Diddy's house. Because you're saying Diddy sex traffic a grown men. You're saying Diddy paid for some pussy. Okay, if he did, that's cool. But you can't go get a nigga and say, yo, you brought a prostitute 2 years ago. Because these are 2-3 year claims. So why are y'all raiding this man's crib? Why are y'all doing all these things to this man? Not because of this shit, because anybody with brains know half of this shit is bullshit. Anybody with brains that go follow his social media and match up the dates, his partying and his good living don't match up with him being this bad guy. But let's continue. According to Mr. Jones, G instructs staff to always contact. We all read that. Mr. Jones had no reason to believe Mr. Combs, as he had been seen firsthand through the shooting of G. It is a crystal silence of LAPD in the media that Mr. Combs indeed had the power to harm him. LAPD spent hours in CRS after the shooting of G, yet there were no arrests. Mr. Jones witnessed LAPD in the restroom, picture above, yet no arrest was made. The morning after the shooting, Mr. Jones, several others arrived at CRS, and G's blood was still on the floor in the restroom. Mr. Combs hired a cleaning crew to clean it up. Defendant Lucius Charles Grange, in his capacity as CEO of UMG Motown Records and Universal Music Group, through their general business partnership and the financial support of Sean Combs and Love Records, Inc., abided and embedded Mr. Combs' actions in detail below. On March 21st, 2024, former Motown Records chairman CEO, with a declaration according to Motown Records chairman, she reportedly directed to defendant Lucius Charles. According to whatever her name is, H declaration, Motown Records entered an agreement with Love Records in or around May 22nd. According to H declaration, UMG was aware of an authorized Motown Records to enter into a license agreement with Love Records. According to the H declaration, under the license agreement, Motown Records agreed to pay or reimburse Love Records for certain of the invoice recording costs incurred by Love Records in making the Love album. According to H declaration, since leaving Motown Records in November 22, she has not been involved with Love Records. Detailed As detailed throughout this pleading, plaintiff Jones began working on the Love album on September 22nd until it was released September 23rd. According to Mr. Jones, the recording of the Love album began in Charles Recording Studios, where Mr. Combs hosted a nightly party where sex workers and alcohol laced with drugs were provided. Mr. Jones informed Mr. Combs that the Charles Recording Studio sessions cost him over $500,000. Okay, so now, for all the people who think Diddy owe him all this money, recording sessions costed $500,000. How much did Mr. Jones, Lil Rod, pay on those studios? See, y'all think 9 songs pay for all it. 9 songs? You don't make $500,000 off of 9 songs if you got 9 number ones. But everybody ready to sell Diddy out. In addition to Child's Recording Studio records, his Love album was recorded in Mr. Combs' homes in Los Angeles, California, and Miami, Florida. Mr. Jones has a copy of every song recorded for the Love album, including songs recorded on the yacht. Mr. Combs and Love Records, Inc. chartered from December 22nd to January 23rd, or January 2022 to January 2023. So, you was on the lot, a yacht from December to January. You recorded songs on that yacht. What, that was for free? You produced 9 songs. You had no equipment. You don't live nowhere. You using studio time. Who pays for that? Did he? He just take the loss. Gotta pay you too, though. You recoup no costs. Okay. According to Mr. Jones, every song has at least 5 versions, and many of the songs never made it on the Love album. Each of these files is timestamped and provides a clear timeline of the creation of the Love album. According to Mr. Jones, during the creation of the Love album, Mr. Combs was very serious about setting the mood and creating a love-making atmosphere. To accomplish this, Mr. Combs did the following. He installed a lighting system so he could adjust the lighting in the room to red, blue, pink, or any color he wanted, depending on the mood he was going for. Mr. Combs required everyone working in the Love album to take shots of Ciroc and DeLeon liquor. He would instruct either D. Frost, Taylor, or KK to eliminate them if they refused. On several occasions, would send voice notes to the Love album phone group chat and pose questions in the group, soliciting opinions on Mr. Jones, questioning his loyalty and whether they think he's a good fit for the team. Mr. Combs knew that Mr. Jones was on the group chat in his house and received those voice notes. After witness 7 people sent home for refusing to engage in the acts, Mr. Combs required to show loyalty. Mr. Jones feared what could happen to him if he told Mr. Combs no. This is another example of Mr. Combs' grooming of Mr. Jones. So, we see other people said no. They were kicked out. They were sent home. So, only in the walls of this lawsuit was this man not allowed to go home. Only because he wanted to get paid, he wanted payday, he wasn't allowed to go home. But everybody else was allowed to go home. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. People turned on Diddy and never read the lawsuit. The lawsuit don't actually make sense. He just said it. Other people were sent home for saying no. And he feared what was going to happen if he said no. He was going to go home. No more living in the mansions. No working on the album. So all the things Diddy allegedly did to him was with his consent. If you read, you will know that. Throughout the creation of the Love album, Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones and others to solicit circuit workers and engage in sex acts. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs felt that you cannot make a love album without making love. Okay. As general business partners of Sean Combs and Love album, Inc., the financial backer of the creation of the Love album, defendant Lucien Charles Grange, in this capacity of CEO of UMG, Motown Records, and Universal Music Group, had the duty to ensure that the financial support they provide to Sean Combs and love records is not being used for sex work, drugs, and laced alcohol. It is no secret that Mr. Combs had specific bottles of alcohol designated for females and other bottles designated for his staff, his artists, and himself. This fact was detailed by former artists and bodyguards of Mr. Combs on YouTube channel The Art of Dialogue. Former bodyguard Gene Deal exposed Combs' pill mixing methods despite cranberry juice and orange juice. According to Mr. Deal, Mr. Combs replaced ecstasy and other date rape jokes in the juices. On YouTube, The Art of Dialogue, former artist Mark Curry exposed Mr. Combs spiking bottles of more champagne in the VIP section of the nightclubs. Mr. Combs would have a set of Moet champagne bottles for artists and a set for women. Defendant Kristen KKK is the Gazella Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein. So now they saying Diddy's Epstein, which is crazy, but okay. Even Epstein died not guilty because, you know, if you die before you're actually charged with crimes, those crimes are wiped off. So Epstein doesn't actually have any sex offender charges. But anyways, according to Mr. Jones, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Mr. Combs, he witnessed Mr. Combs display distribute guns from his bedroom closets in Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, California to questionable individuals dressed in all black. According to Mr. Jones, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Mr. Combs, he witnessed defendant KK openly ordered her assistant to keep Mr. Combs high off gummies and pills. Defendant KK required all employees from the butler to the chefs to the housekeepers to walk around with a black powder pouch or fanny pack filled with cocaine, CHP, ecstasy, those are the links to Gene Deal ratting and his links to Mark Curry running his mouth. They claim they have recorders and all that. But so the bags was filled with GHB, ecstasy, marijuana gummies, 100 to 250 milligrams each, and Tucci, a pink drug that is a combination of ecstasy and cocaine. According to Mr. Jones, defendant K wanted Mr. Combs' drug of choice immediately ready when he asked for it. According to Mr. Jones, defendant K ordered sex workers to Mr. Combs. On one occasion, she sent Mr. Jones a text message requesting that he call a particular sex worker. We have the message. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Combs ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and in his homes in L.A. and Miami. According to Mr. Jones, on multiple occasions, defendant K forced him to carry Mr. Combs' drug pouches against his will. The pouches were always black, and several of Mr. Combs' staff carried black powder pouches. According to Mr. Jones, defendant K also sent Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers for Mr. Combs. When the sex workers arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, defendant K would negotiate their price and would take them aside and pay them. Sean Combs' butler, Frankie, in a black powder pouch, mentioned above while on the yacht from December 22nd to January 23rd. While on the yacht, December 2022, right?
Time, any surprise. Every other night, another movie came. On my mind, so like shit. Put this time, any surprise. Every other night, another movie came. On my mind, so like shit. Put this time, any surprise. Every other night, another movie came.
You see, this is December of 2022 when he's on that yacht having a good time. But in the walls of this lawsuit, he's miserable. He's miserable. On the yacht, December 22 to January 23. What does that say? December 30th, 22 to January 2023. Look. Life good. He happy on the social media. But then as soon as we go to the lawsuit, that same man right there is miserable, he says. As chief of staff, Defendant K was instrumental in organizing and executing the RICO and TVP enterprise. Defendant K had the following individual execute the following tasks for the RICO and TVP enterprise. DBA recruits sex workers and 10 parties, attends and participates in free calls. Justin Combs solicitates prostitutes, underage girls, and sex workers would engage in free calls. Brandon Paul works as Mr. Combs' mules. He acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' drugs and guns. Now, Brandon Paul also was arrested already trying to board Diddy's private jet with a little bit of cocaine and some weed pills, and he was bailed out for $2,500 and it's probably an informant. But anyways, see, they go Diddy and Brandon Paul right there. Frankie Santello works alongside Brendan while Brendan acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' drugs and guns. Frankie carries the money and pays for the guns and drugs. They claim they have a video in the strip club and Diddy's teaching dude how to get the sex workers. Frankie Santello and Sean Combs. Yeah, Puppy definitely whispering in, man, go give me about an ounce of that shit, man. I need a whole break. I'm Diddy, man. I sniffed that whole motherfucker. Man, go give me a break, Frank. I'm telling you, man. Frank, man, don't play with my money, man. Frank. Moy Bryan hires sex workers, attends and participates in free calls. I think that's what's her name? Cousin. That's the cousin. She attends free calls. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs funded it, uses his affiliation with local gangs and gang leaders who would shrink at his homes in LA and Miami to secure the drugs and guns he obtained and distributed out of his homes in LA and Miami. Oh, he intentionally left the names of gang leaders and stuff out for fair retaliation, but he will provide the information to the court under seal in camera. According to Mr. Jones, defendants executed their RICO and TVP enterprise with threats of violence, threatening to eat plaintiff's face, displaying and distributing guns in plaintiff's presence, bragging about having law enforcement under control, bragging about murdering people, and bragging about bribing witnesses and jurors in the criminal case concerning the 1992 nightclub shooting with Shine. As a result, Mr. Combs will maintain domain and control over Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, defendants executed his RICO and TVPA enterprise with threats of his isolation from the music and entertainment industry, parading powerful music industry executives at his parties filled with sex workers and illegal drugs such as ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Combs executed his RICO and TVP enterprise with threats of non-payment for work, complete fake promises of cash payments, $250,000 producer of the year, Grammy Awards, and guarantee access to future projects in a $20 million home in Star Island in Miami. Yo, I'm gonna give you this $20 million home because you did 9 songs. Mr. Combs is allowed to recap while living and traveling with Mr. Combs. Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his home. Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs had recording of several celebrities, artists, music label executives, and athletes engaged in illegal activity at Mr. Combs' functions. Upon information and belief, these individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent, as in case with the homosexual tape of Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones, claiming to be Stevie J. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person who has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Upon information and belief, due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and unjustable. Based on information and belief, Mr. Combs employs Jose Cruz as his IG director. This writer has spoken to several former employees of Mr. Combs who confirmed that Jose Cruz is the gatekeeper to all Mr. Combs recordings. Upon information and belief, Jose Cruz hides behind the camera and from social media and the internet due to all the incriminating acts he was required to record for Mr. Combs. Jose Puff's tech guy, Cali. Well, that's how they got. Who was it, Pablo or the Carly Cartel? That's how they got him. They got the tech guy, and the tech guy was controlling all the phones. Might have even been El Chapo, and the tech guy gave it all up. Got Puffy's tech guy. Defendant Mr. Combs hired private investigator Russell L. Green to seek out, harass, and bribe individuals to provide dirt on Mr. Jones. On or about March 2nd, 2024, Mr. Jones was informed by a close friend from his church that Mr. Jones' engineer, Matt Testa, provided the individual's phone number to Los Angeles private investigator Russell L. Green. Correct. It's Russell Green. Gave me a number. Are you available to speak with me? Hey, can I chat in a couple hours? If that's cool, sounds good. I'm in an event from 3 to 5, so I'll be available after 5. I'm on the West Coast. Where are you? I'm in Los Angeles. I can talk at 1:30 as well. Okay. You available now? Did you just call me? Yes. Odd information and belief, Mr. Green attempted to bribe the anonymous individual with an uncertain amount of money in exchange for her produce a text message or any that this individual could produce to paint Mr. Jones in a bad light. During the call, Mr. Jones, the individual expressed fear for their safety and the safety of their family. This is a clear example of some of the tactics employed by Mr. Combs and members of Combs Rico and TVP Enterprise. Besides contacting the individual previously mentioned, Mr. Green contacted Mr. Jones' 8-year-old daughter. He solicited information from his child about her father until she cried in fear and handed the phone to her mother. Now, 8 years old, that's a little young to have a phone. And she's answering and talking to random people. She definitely don't need a phone, because as soon as they start asking about her father, she should have gave it to her mother, and no one should have been able to say anything to her. But anyways, and an 8-year-old, you should have had her phone controlled where only the mother or the father can control her, or the grandmother, or you know what I'm saying? But anyways, whatever. Besides contacting the individual previously mentioned, Mr. Green contacted Mr. Jones' 8-year-old daughter. He solicited information from the child about her father until she cried in fear and handed the phone to her mother. At the time her mother hung up the phone, Mr. Green proceeded to text her. She informed him that she did not want to be bothered, and he continued to send her unwanted, harassing text messages. All right, so we're going to end this on page 42, and I'll come back tomorrow and pick up on page 42, because I've been doing this for like 2 hours, It's 3 a.m. I got some business to take care of tomorrow, so your boy gotta get some sleep. So we gonna break this down. You know how I do it. If you like what I'm doing over here, click that like, share, subscribe, leave some comments in the comment section. And if you a supporter, much love and respect. But if you out here just hating, cut this shit.